guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Paula, a new grad trauma ICU nurse, a single mom to one beautiful baby girl, and I am currently tackling over $70,000 of debt. It's not a car loan, it's not a mortgage, just a whole lot of credit card debt mainly. So today we're going to be cash stuffing my paycheck and using every extra dollar to crush what is around 20K of credit card debt. And if you'd like to support me on this journey, I do have some budgeting projects and trackers I've created down below. They're always linked down there. Every purchase helps me stay on track and gets me one step closer to being financially free. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Today, the first thing that we're going to do, like always, is count my paycheck. Here she is over here. Let's turn my calculator on so we can go ahead and get her counted. So let's go ahead and start with our 100s. We have 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700. So we have 700. Now we have some 50s, 50, 100, 50, 200. Plus 200. Now we have our 20s. We have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Plus 100. And we have 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Plus 70. And then we have some 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and $30. Plus 30 equals $1,100 that we are going to be cash stuffing today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and cash stuff is going to be my weekly expenditures. So let's grab my cash wallet here. So let's stuff our cash envelopes, go through here and see what everything is looking like today. Alrighty, so the first thing that we are going to stuff is going to be gas. Let's make sure there's nothing left over here, and there is. Alright, so we have a couple dollars left here in gas. So we have $1, $2, $3, $4, and $5 here. Just gonna throw that right here. And then to stock us up for the week, we are gonna put $30. So we're gonna do that with a 20 and a 10. So let's go ahead and fold this up. Alrighty. How are you guys doing this week? I have lots of little updates to talk to you guys about at the end here. Lots of kind of life-changing, life-altering things that are going to be going on soon. So I will be updating you guys in a little bit here, but I did want to get through our cash envelope stuffing first. Next we have baby girl. So there's nothing left in baby girl, never is. So I'm gonna go ahead and put $350 into baby girl this week. We're gonna do that with two 100s. Two 100s, we're gonna do two 50s. We're gonna do a 20, a 10, and then 4 5s. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then let's go ahead and count this up to make sure it equals 350. So we have 100, 200, 250, 300, 320, 330, 35, 40, 45, and 50. So 350 bucks here that we have going to Anora's daycare expense for the week. All right, next we have wellness. Wellness this week is going to go ahead and get 35, and we have nothing left in it from last week. So I'm going to do that with a 20, 10, and then a 5. So now we have 20, 30, $35 here for wellness. This is just to re-up my class pass. Next we have spa, and spa is still filled up from last week. This is going to be getting spent today because I'm going to go ahead and get my nails done today. We should have $80 in here, so we have 20, 40, 60, 70, $80. So Yes, this was in here from last week just so I didn't have so much coming out this week. And I think that that was a good decision on my part, just because of the couple of things that I'm going to be updating you guys on in a little bit. So we have restaurants next. Restaurants is getting nothing, and there is nothing left in here from last week. So let's go ahead and move on. Next, lastly, we have necessities. Necessities this week, I will be adding some money to it. But this is what we had last week. This is not left over. I have not been able to get to the store yet. I'll be going today. So there should, I'm actually not sure how much there is in here. So let's count. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 110, 110, 111, 12, 13, 14. So 114, kind of an odd number. I don't know. This is how much I'm giving myself to spend at the grocery store when I go. I have to make a quick run to Walmart, and then whatever is left over, I kind of just grab a couple things from the Costco, like a nice little salad kit. I'll probably make that for dinner today. And then any little new things that I might want Honor and I to try, that is what I will do. However, I am going to be adding $35 here, so I'm going to do that with a 20, a 10, and a 5, and this is separate. This is going to a couple of other little things. I think like my iCloud storage and some scrub caps for myself. So I'm just gonna put this in here the opposite way so I know that that is separate. And I don't think I have any coins this week at all. Yep, no coins. So we're just gonna go ahead and close this up, and now she is ready for this week's expenses. I think I'm gonna go to the gas station as well today, either today or tomorrow morning. But yes, moving on here, I'm gonna move this out the way, and we will bring this down here and get right into this binder. This is like my long-term sinking funds / debt binder. You guys know that I've been recently paying a lot of money towards my debt. However, some things recently have changed for me, and I'm having to kind of shift my priorities. So let's go ahead and just talk about it real quick now that the cash stuffing part is over. So instead of worrying about my debt this week, we are going to be going back here and hitting up my emergency fund. So let's just kind of talk about things a little bit real quick, and kind of, I'm just gonna move this here just so you can kind of not mess your eyes up. So anyways, recently, like literally when I came off of my first couple of days of night shift, my mom kind of let me know that like, okay, we're kind of struggling a little bit to pay rent more than I anticipated struggling once my older brother left. He did move to a different state to get a better job. We're kind of on like very multi-generational living, household type living. So he's kind of like egging us to move up there with him, which is not a problem. However, I did think that we were going to be able to support ourselves a little bit longer here, to the point where we could stay for a good 1.5 years after he left. But with my mom talking about I need some money here and there for our rent and any other bills, I'm like, okay, well, it's not smart to stay here financially when my older brother is looking to buy a house up north and wanting us to move with him. I just didn't think it was going to be as soon. So as of right now, it looks like I'm going to be moving in March instead of March of the following year. So that's what things are looking like for me. Last week I did have to take some money out of my emergency fund to help pay bills. I took about $750 out of what was around $7,000 of emergency fund. I had a month worth of rent and then a couple months of Honor's daycare left in there, but I did have to pull from that and help pay towards some bills. So what we have left over here, I'm going to put back into my emergency fund. So we're going to count this in just a moment, and I'm going to put it in my emergency fund. And so what I'm thinking from here on out is that I'm going to be looking toward bulking up my emergency fund so that when we move in the next 5 months, I can move blissfully and not be stressed out. Obviously, I've been wanting to put lots of money towards my debt and get her all the way paid off, but things change, and you know what they say, like, you make plans, God laughs at your plans. But I do think that this is going to be a really, really good move for us. And all of that. I really wanted to get like a year of experience nurse-wise under my belt, especially in a trauma ICU, but it's not looking like that. It looks like I'm probably going to be able to get like 8 months in, but that's okay. I'm an ICU nurse in general. I have a compact license, so it's not going to be stressful for me to move up there and get a job and be eligible for hire. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about how much it's going to cost us to move way sooner than later. I wanted to get my debt paid off and then start saving for moving expenses, but now it's kind of the other way around. So let's go ahead and count what we have left over, and then that is how much we're going to be putting towards our emergency fund, or kind of replacing it and then starting to stack onto it, because I need to make sure that I have liquid money, period. I don't want to be looking crazy stressed out when January, February hits, especially because my birthday's in February. I'm not trying to be stressed out about that. I wasn't planning on having this. December is supposed to be around my 6 months of working. I wanted to be able to go on a little trip. Not going to be able to do that. So this is just what life is handing me right now, so we're having to deal with this. So let's go ahead and zero this out, and we're going to count how much we have left over and how much we're going to be able to put towards our emergency fund, put back into it. Like I said, I took $750 out, and that wasn't just like, that was just my portion, mind you. So that's why I'm starting to be a little bit more nervous, because that was solely my portion. We got portions from other people that live in the household, you know what I mean? So anyways, moving on, let's go ahead and count this up so that we have a total of what we're putting in our emergency fund going into this week. So we have 100, 2, 3, 4, 500. We have some 50s. We have 250s, so that's going to be 100. Okay, hold on. I forgot to add that. So we have 100, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 500. Then we have 250s, so that's going to be plus 100. And then we have 120 here, so plus 20. And then we have some 10s. We have 10, 20, $30. So plus 30. And then we have some ones left over. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So plus 5 equals $655 that I'll be putting towards my emergency fund this week. So we're about 100 and something off from what was originally there. And then, like I said, from here on out, I'm probably just going to worry about bulking that up. So I did also want to update you guys on the debt overall. So because of the news and things changing and stuff like that, I was definitely stressed out for a couple of days, trying to figure out how I'm going to go about things mentally. So what I went ahead and did today, because, you know, I paid down a good chunk of my debt, I went to my bank and I was like, okay, it's been a couple of months. I'm working as an RN now. You guys know last time, oh, I did want to put this over here just to look pretty, but the last time I went, I tried to go get a debt consolidation loan and they did not approve me. My debt was closer to 20K at that point. That was like 3 months ago. And they did not approve me. Credit score was just a little too low and my work history was not long enough for them. So I went today because I was like, bro, this is the last time I'm gonna do this. It's either gonna work out or it's not. And it worked out. So my home skillet biscuit that works up there, that I went to the last time when I didn't get approved, he was like, hey Paula, and I was like, here, we're gonna try again. And we tried again and it freaking worked. So I got approved for up to 10K, and that is going to take care of all of my debt except for my rooms to go, which I wanted it that way because my rooms to go is set at 0%, and my personal loan with my bank is now at around 13%. So that is a big difference. So I'm not gonna put my rooms to go on there and pay 13% on something that's at 0. So it worked out. So this is gonna now take care of my Capital One, my Discover, the Apple, and the Bank of America. And with that being said, like I said before, my debt was starting at around 20 when I first went in there, and now we're under 10. So that kind of gives you a debt update of how much we've been able to put towards my debt in these past 3 months, which I've been so thankful and so excited to do. I haven't had to pay any money towards my household, so it didn't make me mad that I'm having to put money towards like the rent and stuff like that. It's just not something that I expected to have to do so soon, because we were all kind of in agreement that Paula would go ahead and pay her debt off. Then we would start looking towards buying a house, this, that, and the third. But plans change. It is what it is. My brother is up north. He's very excited, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to this change, even though it's kind of something that I'm having to wrap my head around right now and just have a different approach to the next couple of months than I anticipated. And it just is what it is. But like I said, it is in my best interest to make sure that my emergency fund is bulked up. We're not starting at zero, thankfully. But as soon as she was like, I'm gonna need money for this month's rent, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to take that out of my emergency fund, and I don't want my emergency fund to be at zero by the time we move, to the point where all my money I've been just putting towards debt, and I don't have any liquid money, and then I'm stressed out trying to move and get Honora back into daycare, this, that, and the third. I've been thinking about taking her out of daycare. However, we do the flexible spending account with my job, so they're already taking it out automatically, and they are like, if you take her out of daycare, you're gonna have to forfeit that $5,000 that is going to eventually be taken out. So I will probably keep her into daycare either full-time or part-time, just so I can kind of recoup that money, which is fine. But I am trying to figure out ways where I can start saving as much money as possible in those really bulk ways, because I spend about $1,600 a month on Honora's daycare. So that is kind of the update for my life right now. Not looking to buy no car right now. We're trying to see what's going on with the house thing. My biggest priority is saving, not necessarily putting money towards debt. When I did go in there, I'm so excited. And like I said, I feel like this is kind of like an affirming thing, like us moving is the right decision, because like I said, 3 months ago, I did not get approved for a personal loan. They were like, not exactly, go work a couple more months. And I told y'all, I was like, I'm not even gonna go back, because I'm an all or nothing girly. So if they don't approve me now, I don't even want to work with y'all no more. But I was like, that's gonna be the right thing to do in this case, because I'll get a lower interest rate. My monthly payment is like $230, which is amazing, because I'm already paying on the Capital One like $100 a month, and you have all your other minimums plus the amount of money that I was trying to put towards my Discover. So I'm like, that works out perfect for that to be my base amount. And I think it's 60 months, but they don't give you any fees for paying it off early, which I plan to do. I just need a little bit of time to kind of get our finances right in terms of moving, and then probably once I get back up there, it's going to be bulk on top of bulk on top of bulk. But in this moment, I need to make sure I have as much liquid money as possible. So going from paying like $500 in minimums or something like that to being able to pay around $310 when I add on the rooms to go is just going to be so much better, and kind of a burden lifted off of me. So now I'm only paying towards one thing starting in October instead of like 5 different accounts, which can kind of confuse me a little bit, especially with my slight dyscalculia. So I'm looking forward to it. I am not upset in the slightest. I was just very stressed out for a couple of days, kind of a little slightly depressed, slightly stressed out, overwhelmed, stress eating. But like I said, with me getting approved, I feel like that's kind of an affirming moment, and this is just what is going to be happening. So I got approved for that. The terms look really good. I can pay it off as soon as I want to, and the interest rate is much less than what I'm paying right now. So it all just kind of worked out in the end, and I'm grateful for that. And like I said, from here on out, for the next couple of months, I will definitely be putting as much as I can towards my emergency fund so that I have money as much as I'm going to need, and then I'll be able to pay the base amount on the personal loan plus my rooms to go. And if I really feel like I want to put some extra money towards it, then I might, because I'm kind of like in that mode. I really just want to get it paid down. But at the same time, I know that it's going to be important for me to make sure that once we get up there, I'm not stressed out trying to start working immediately. I have some time to find a job, have time to get Honora into daycare if I feel like that's what I want to do, and just move blissfully and not be stressed out. So that's kind of the update with me and our life and our plans for the next couple of months. As you guys seen, we were able to get a good chunk of debt paid down. Like I said, I went in there asking for 20K a couple months ago. Now I only had to ask for 10, and we didn't even hit the 10 mark. So I'm just thankful that I've been able to pay my debt and go that hard for at least these couple of months. But now I do have to get really, really smart on how I maneuver and strategize around my finances moving forward. But yes, that is pretty much all that I have for you guys this week. I was just trying to like get this video done as quickly as I can, just kind of update you guys so that you're not like confused, and just let you guys know what's going on, because I'm still a little bit stressed out. I feel like it's a good move, but I'm still stressed out. It just comes with the territory, and just kind of thinking about how I won't have as much nursing experience when I move, which kind of scares me a little bit, just because I'm like, I do still want to be able to work in a NICU or an ICU when I get up there, but with my limited experience, I don't know how they're going to take that. But what God has for me is what God has for me, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much. And yeah, so that's all that I have for you guys. I hope that you guys have the best week and weekend going into next week, and I will see you guys later. Alrighty, bye bye.